We're glad to have you back now. Let's look at the figures coming from the exchange. And I'm being joined by equities trader at APT Securities Limited, Mr. Jamiu Mohammed, to help understand the market. He joins me via Zoom. Mr. Mohammed, thank you so much for your time. We are trading negative 0.12%. Take us through the fundamentals responsible for this negative trade. Yesterday, I was also flat.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Toilokwe. It's a pleasure to be here on the program with you. The market traded in the negative territory, and market lost about 0.12%. And this is a second day in the week, and we have two negative trading sessions. So though yesterday we just have 0.01%, today we have 0.12%. So all these things. And if you look at the number of activities that we traded about 2.8 billion worth of shares today. The activities is not that good compared to what we normally have, because the value traded in a day should be around 3.8 to 4 billion in a day that we are currently be doing. Though it's too minimal, it's too small too. But as we have it today, we have market closing in the red. And we saw a situation whereby the market price closed in the negative. So these are one of those things that has happened, and we are expecting that to happen like this. It's one of those oscillation movement in the prices of those listed companies in the market. Don't forget we're in any seasons, and the time has not gone, and we are preparing for the biggest releasing of biggest season of releasing of results from especially the banking sectors. You know, these banking sectors are the leading sector, are moving the stock market into the direction whichever they go to. That's what we expect the clear market to go to. So recent time we have not seen any result from many of these banks. It may lead to, because of the issue that the CBN has at hand. It's not normally that we have it by this time of the year, that is the middle of March. None of the banks has released their result, and they've not come out with their corporate actions. So these are the reason why people are have somehow about a sentiment about, be scared about the market, and that is why we have seen the level of performance that is still low in the market. So we're still expecting those banks to release that result. They are the one that is the major player they are the major player in our market. So we're expecting those results as for now.
Many would think that all of these negatives affecting the financial space might impact the figures expected from the banks. Are you thinking along that line?
Yes, sure. The market is not resilience against the news in the economy. Yeah. But don't forget that the result that we're expecting is audited report, which is for the last year. Yeah. This current financial crisis that we are having now has not been affecting them. So the outcome that may come from those audited reports may not be there. It will not be there as we speak. So the audited report that we are expecting, that issue that we are having, this cash crunch that we have in the economy, will not affect the result we are expecting. So by the first and by the end of April, we should expect most of them to come up with their first quarter results. So this first quarter result, we believe that it's going to be greatly hampered by these cash crunches that happen in the financial market, and we expect that it's going to have a very deep influence in the outcome or in the result, both the bottom and top lines for the first quarter. But as we speak, the result we are expecting as we speak now, they are all from audited report, which the financial the cash cost has not the problem has not started, and it may not have influence on whatever the result they are going to release. So we are very hopeful, very positive that the result that they will release is still going to be okay. And if they cannot have improvement, at least they may be able to replicate what they have in 2021 results. So we're expecting year-end 2022 results. So we expect that this problem in the market, financial sector may not affect this result that we're expecting, but it will surely affect the first quarter result that we'll be expecting towards the end of the month of April.
I must thank you so much, Mr. Jamiu Mohammed, for your time on the show as usual.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
All right, my colleague Effiong Ekop. Oh, already saw you. Take it away from where Mohammed stopped. The banking stocks, it still says they remain very liquid.
Yeah, to some extent, but they have multiple problems to grapple with, so many. I see the closing figures that we have from the market is an indication of the frictions and uncertainties hanging in some areas of the economy that really affect investment. And it shows that there are fears in some of these quarters. And when investors calculate all of this, then to what we have seen. The second time this week that the market is closing in a position that is not encouraging. But as it is now, we have something that we need to handle with care, and that is the weekend election. The market is also sensitive to that. That's the last leg of the election. The election is something that the market is always looking very closely and interpreting very well. And after that, you talk about the economic indices. They are still disturbing. They are still worrying. Inflation is still very high. We are still having so many of the things that would have assisted economic nerves, to move on, to oil the machineries of production. We don't have them very well. You look at the liquidity system, that's very, very common to us. So all of these are issues that if you put in, investment baskets, you hand over to an investor, he will not accept easily. And so we give time for them to be sorted out easily. Not that there's anything wrong with many of the quoted companies, but they too are feeling, these issues that we face as individuals. Yeah. So they as institutions, they also share. And imagine a manufacturing company, finding it so difficult to, raise a fund from, a funding bank, or being able to, get a diesel to run its, factory. Yeah. So those are the issues. Then the bank, as an industry, generally, that they have great problems. Right. So that's the more reason why some of the results we expected, seem to be delayed. I think it is an industry-wide problem. They will sort themselves out as we go on.
All right, thank you so much. Ekop there, as usual, there to break down figures from the exchange. Do enjoy the rest of your day.
It's a pleasure.